Well, it's one of the biggest nights for a certain group of music fans. Taylor Swift has officially dropped her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, today. And while fans wait to see if this album will smash previous records, local businesses across the country have taken advantage of all the hype. Fox 61's consumer correspondent Stephen Reels has the latest on the Swiftie sensation. And Stephen, you even had a chance to hang out with some Swifties earlier today in Glastonbury.
Yeah, I did, and that very fun time out there, just enjoying the vibes. And to be fair, one of the biggest nights, like you said, for Swifties. It's like their Super Bowl. Now, old friendship bracelet up, everyone has just been enjoying the process. And while it's only been just about 24 hours, TS12 has already set records. And these are records that Taylor Swift even set herself.
The Swiftie sensation is in full effect.
For a really long time, we've been calling Taylor Swift a master of her craft, but I feel like this album is like the thesis project.
Excitement in the air as The Life of a Showgirl hits airwaves and shelves October 3rd. It prompted long lines like these at Target stores across the country for the midnight release.
My heart is racing. I'm so excited.
Ahead of the release, Spotify said TS12 was already the most pre-saved album in the site's history, with 6 million saves. It beat out the previous record holder, also Taylor Swift. Already, The Life of a Showgirl has become the most streamed album on Spotify in a single day so far this year, and also dominates the charts on Apple Music.
But this is so poppy, so fun. I think it comes after the Eras tour where even more people got exposed, so I think she has a wider reach than ever.
Swifties like Hallie Newcomb took the experience of the opening weekend to the next level and attended the official album theatrical event at Cinemark Theaters with a behind-the-scenes look at what went into creating the album.
It definitely brings a lot of people together, especially Swifties.
Would it be fair to call you Connecticut's biggest Swiftie?
I don't like to engage in competition because I think there's so many ways of being a Swiftie, but how about Connecticut's biggest academic Swiftie?
Ari Perez is an associate professor of civil engineering at Quinnipiac University. But on the side, he teaches a course on the cultural impact of Taylor Swift, split into 13 units because, well, that's Taylor Swift's favorite number. From gender studies to English and business.
For one person, she can just reflect back so many questions, kind of like a mirror ball. And she has a song called Mirror Ball off of Folklore.
Was that on purpose?
Yes, sir. Yes, it was. I mean, I teach about slope stability, and I could guarantee you until Taylor tells me herself otherwise that the song Treacherous is to teach slope stability.
Treacherous slopes aside, Perez says the sales of the album will likely build on the record-setting sales from her last album, which saw Swift herself become the most streamed artist in a single day in Spotify history.
But I don't know that we're in for like a huge increase. But I would imagine, you know, it will stay level, like within 10%. The attention economy, I do think will be monopolized by Taylor Swift in the next couple of weeks after the release. And then a lot of businesses kind of use it for advertising. There's been a lot of like puns playing on it. So I do think that's going to happen. A lot of people try to cash in on the craze that we're going to see.
Until Swift tours, Perez says a lot of the money around the release will come from local events, like this album release party at Clubhouse on Main in Glastonbury. Again, building off the success of their previous party when the musician dropped the Tortured Poets department last year, a suggestion by owner Kyle Corneau's own daughter.
It brings people together. It definitely brings a different crowd here. Like, we're a sports bar and we have simulators and stuff, but I don't know how many Taylor Swift enthusiasts come to our establishment, so it gets them here.
Joy shared among Swifties, both longtime fans like Alyssa Tadino and new ones like her students listening for the first time.
And I think that Taylor Swift is just, her music so unifying for all generations, and the fact that I can be equally as excited as my 10-year-old students is just such an amazing experience.
And to finally finish off this discussion around Taylor, we have to go to one of our resident Swifties here at Fox 61. Of course, right now we're talking about Alexa Harley. Alexa, we just got to know big things. Favorite Taylor song, favorite Taylor album, what are your credentials?
Well, give me a moment to think about that. Credential-wise, I mean, I was in high school when a lot of the, hits, Love Story, You Belong With Me, all those classic ones people probably have heard on the radio came out. I didn't become dedicated to the Taylor Swift movement until I was in college when Folklore and Evermore came out, because they're just so stripped back, and then dived into the Stolen Masters, the re-recording, some of the lore of all of her songs, and then I've just kind of been dedicated ever since. I happened to the Eras tour. I went to the Speak Now release release announcement in Nashville. As far as favorite Taylor Swift song, I mean, that changes depending on what my mood is, what day of the week it is.
I feel like that's the case for a lot of people, though.
My go-to always is Don't Blame Me from Reputation, which you and I were talking about is your favorite album.
Yes, Reputation, peak. That is my favorite album. I just have very vivid memories when it does come to that. But I got to know about The Life of a Showgirl. It's got like a lot to live up to because the Tortured Poets department that came out right before this, it set records. It sold like 2.5 million copies in its first week. More than half of that came from the first day. I just got to know, as a Swiftie, do you think that it's going to live up to that?
I think so, for several reasons. I don't think she could ever make bad music, and even if she did, I think the Swifties would still love it because I would still listen to it, even if it's a song that's not as great as songs in the past. I think it's going to live up to it because it's not like past albums, which have been a little more melancholic, a little more stripped back, a little more like diary-esque. They're very stripped bare versus I think this is going to be very pop-heavy, very dancey. I've heard comparisons to like Mamma Mia type of vibes.
Oh,
I don't know if that's what we're going to get.
But if we do,
I'm going to love it.
we're going to love it. But we also have to know that we're coming off a lot of big Taylor Swift news. She just, like you said, bought back her masters. She just got engaged. Do you feel like that's really going to help with all of the Swiftie sensation that we're going to see?
Yeah, I think so. Because we were talking about this earlier. The idea that there would be 2 new albums from the start of the announcement of the tour, Tortured Poets and Now Life for Showgirl, is kind of crazy. Because as a Swiftie fan, the re-release of the stolen albums was kind of where we all thought we were. We thought we were going to be on this couple-year plan of getting Reputation Taylor's version, Debut Taylor's version, and those seemingly don't exist. We'll see. The theory is that there are some Rep Vault tracks you'll get. To table that for a different day. I think it'll live to the hype for sure, because she kind of teased this whole Showgirl-esque mantra during her Tortured Poets set when she was doing the I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. She was in, the tuxedo, there was feathers, it was very Great Gatsby, very flapper. So we've already kind of seen it, we've gotten a taste of it, and so I think now that we've embraced that, I think it's going to break all the records.
I just want to say thank you so much for joining us for this, and we actually have a little bit of a thank you for it. We made
Is it a ticket to a show?
No, I wish. It's a Fox 61 friendship bracelet. I don't know if the producers can kind of zoom in on this real quick. Look at that right there.
It's beautiful.
It's, and it's for you now, just as like a thank you. I feel like that was the only way we could have ended this.
You see, like I've added it to my
and it looks amazing.
There. Yeah.
And you can keep up to date with all things Taylor Swift by checking out our Ultimate Swiftie Guide. You can find that on fox61.com. You can see what events are happening, where you can find the music, and what times you can see the Life of a Showgirl movie that's playing now at AMC and Cinemark.
I do have my ticket.
And I don't know about you, Sam, but I learned a lot from that. I learned that it's a movement. I learned what an academic Swiftie was. And I learned that Stefan always needs to be put on stories like this because I just felt his excitement through the story the entire time.
I just learned a whole lot just the last couple of minutes. Of course, I'm of the older generation. But I'll tell you, Taylor Swift reminds me of what happened 50 years ago in 1975. Elton John, superstar of the 70s. #1 album debuted on the album chart in 1975 with Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, and he did it again in the fall of '75. So that was back in June of '75, and then about now, Rock of the Westies also debuted at #1. So very similar 50 years later.
I was going to say, you sound like you might be becoming a Swiftie soon.
Yeah, he might be. I like it.
Yeah, really, really great. Thank you so much, Stefan.